Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you guys watched the first two videos that I've ever posted. Um, and like I said in those videos, I was kind of all over the place, but I just felt like it was just an awakening from, what's been going on and trying to make sense of the past to the present, basically. So the first thing I want to talk about and pinpoint, like I said, is the things that I felt like I've been delivered from by God. So one of the main things that I know I struggle with, like many out there, was alcohol. And before I go forward with it and share with you guys how I felt like God delivered me from it, I got my first official drink. I felt like when I was 19, I was in California at the time. Over a friend's house. I remember me, my brother, my friend, 3 different TVs, Xbox 360 at the time, and I remember playing Halo. That's exactly what we were doing at the time. Halo was the game. But yeah, I remember him bringing out, I want to say it was Hypnotic, Hennessy, and some type of vodka. Now, this is how I know I was new to it. And mind you, I was sitting down at the time. So as we're playing, he offers it. And I remember just drinking a Hypnotic first. Just enjoying ourselves, not a care in the world right then and there. And after that, it was Hennessy. So I'm over here just mixing things. And some people say, yeah, you can mix Hennessy and Hypnotic, you'll get Incredible Hulk. Okay, but mind you, I didn't know anything about alcohol. It's never truly really been in my system like that. And then after drinking some of the Hennessy, I followed it up right behind it with vodka, not even realizing what's happening. And me and my mind feeling intensified, I guess you can say that. Fast forward to the end, when it was time to go, I remember, whoever came and picked me and my brother up to take us home. I remember feeling dizzy when I stood up, real dizzy. And sure enough, I already knew what was coming. So, of course, I leaned over and vomit just projected out. Now, when I say it projected out, my brother and my friend looked at me, and when I was done, they said, "Man, that came out looking like cartoonish." I basically saying like it was unreal, and I just knew, I was like, "Oh, that was horrible." That was horrible. It was intensified during playing the game and everything, but when it's all said and done. But anyways, after that, I remember after Cali, I remember graduating out there and coming back to Tennessee, and I had linked up with a few of my other friends that I've known before. And that's the thing about the military. I'll get into that story another time. But the thing about the military, you move around a lot, and you probably end up going back to the same places. Anyway, so I linked back up with a few of my friends, and they introduced me to their friends. And of course, their friends were drinking and this and that, and me feeling like, oh yeah, I've done this before. I know what this is gonna do. Like, not even learning my lesson, I guess. So that's where I feel like the true start of me drinking took place, is when I got back out here in Tennessee, because it went from age 19 all the way up into my 30s. Now, from 19 to, I want to say, 23, 24, I did my majority fair shares of partying, clubbing, of course, get-togethers. And sure enough, majority of those times involved alcohol. you know. And just like anything down the road, in due time, you start building up a tolerance. Now, mind you, just like I said in the first video, like, I've already had my pride and my ego and everything built up at the time. So putting alcohol on top of that basically just enhanced everything. So if you thought my pride was something then, or if you thought my ego was something then, if you thought I was arrogant, self-centered, and all of that, then, well, alcohol just times that by 1,000. So you kind of feel like, you know, untouchable in a way. And a lot of people say that about other substances that they take, but alcohol was my poison, was my choice, because I knew it was something that I can control. And when I say control, I built up such a tolerance that, you know, I was able to look around at other people like, hi, look at you, or hi, you can't hold it, you know what I mean? Like, this ain't for you, just like gloating, like really bashing them on it, like this is something to be really proud of. But like I said, I wasn't thinking about it like that at the time, like how I see it now. So fast forwarding on that, there were times where, you know, we would take separate cars. We knew we was going clubbing. I was in a lot of different car clubs. I knew I was going clubbing, or I knew I was going to this person's house. And even when I drank, there was really no sobering up. So what does that tell you? Yes, I did drink and drive. Very guilty of it. I did that for a long time with great distances. And it's just so crazy now thinking about it, because all those times where I just felt like I was in control, or, you know, from this destination to that destination, I felt like I was in such control where, oh yeah, I got my cell phone, I did that. You know, not really thinking about the consequences that came behind it. It's not so much of me like possibly getting pulled over or anything like that. And that could happen too. And not really having in my head like I could possibly hurt somebody, let alone, hurt myself. It rarely, if not, had really crossed my mind what this is doing to me. That's how I knew I was blind to it. Alcohol had such a control over my life that it didn't matter if I could hold it or not. It didn't matter if I was functional. Like, you are what you are. You're still an alcoholic. Like, the money that goes into it, like how much I would just buy, and it didn't matter how much I would consume. You don't realize how many bottles are, going empty. And, people assuming like, hey man, is all of these for you? Like, oh, where's the party at? This is the party. And that just goes to show you, like, everything that we go through in life, even if everything seems like it's going okay for that person, you still just never know. I drink by myself, I drink with friends, I would drink with family, and everything would just seem cool. Like, I'm okay. But if I was truly okay, would I be needing this? It was honestly feels like a high. What feels like a high, it makes you feel so superior, so good. It was just false. All of it is false. It's a depressant is what it is. And your body becomes dependent on it. So you could have a hard day at work, or things aren't just going your way, and you go to that bottle thinking it's gonna fix it. No, it's numbing you from reality. It's making you not think about your problems, think about your priorities. It basically just masks and clouds the whole thing. And that's what it was basically doing in my life. It didn't matter if I was still taking care of my responsibilities. Like I said, I was very functional. But it was really driven by the pride of knowing that, hey, even if I consume this, and no matter how much I consume, I got it under control. Like, I remember going to stores and just getting big gulp cups and having my little mix and just driving. just driving, listen to my music, and without a care, like not even an agenda that day, just doing it just to do it. Like this is cool, like this is the thing to do. And there were times where I would let loose meaning I would really just stop having control over the alcohol. In my mind, that's what I'm doing. I'm basically telling myself, all right, loosen up even more shots, turn up, this and that. So I'm allowing myself to get more intoxicated to not care, to the point where you pass out and you don't remember anything. There's been times where I drove drunk, made it home, of course, go to sleep. I would wake up and of course think to myself, like, I don't remember driving. So you think about that. I don't remember driving. How did I truly make it home? I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, because not everybody gets to live and basically share their story, share their testimony, to say you did not get yourself home all those times. God was with you the whole time. So God was with me all those times I decided to drive home drunk. And it's not just me. It could have been people with me. I'm just the designated driver, the designated drunk driver, because I felt like, you know what? I'm not as drunk as the rest of you. I can do it. I got y'all. That's risking other people's lives. That, once again, I didn't take the time to even think about that. That's where the selfishness comes in. If anything, no, we all need to sober up, or we all need to stay where we're at. But that never really crossed my mind. Now, has there been times where I've done that? Yeah, played the responsible role, like, nah, we don't need to be driving. Good, because I feel like all those times that I played responsible, or felt like, you know what, I'm glad I didn't, I felt like those would have been the times for something to happen. I honestly, truly can say now that those were the times that something was going to happen. Had I not stayed, had I not sat down, had I not just, you know what, I'm going to stay tonight, here, take my keys. Alcohol. Going into my mid-20s into my 30s, I felt like I would take a break here, take a break there, but alcohol was still something that I felt like was with me. It was something that I felt like, see, I grew up seeing my parents and, my relatives, cousins, and everybody. This is all I saw, really. But that's scene. Like I told you at 19, that was when I really got my true taste of it myself. And even when I got back out here, like, I felt like it never stopped. Like, it was just something that was in me because of, your surroundings and, people that you hang around, and it's what you see. And especially, it's being promoted too. So that's another thing. Turn up, more shots. Just blinding you to the fact, like, look how many people decided to get behind the wheel that day. And think about how many people that didn't make it. It could have been you. It could have been me. I wouldn't even be here sharing this story about, the effects of it. But I just want to give the praise to God, because I know He was with me all of those times. And as selfish as I was and how that sounds, it's like He could have took me at any moment, like, all over this. Honestly, in every relationship that I think about now, I've done it. I drove drunk, and and it's so funny because they actually put their trust in me to get us home. I remember my best friend did that same thing, because I felt like, once again, like, hey, you're a little bit drunker, more drunker than I am. Like, I can do it. I can get us home. And I remember a day where it was me and him, and I remember driving his car after we had came from, some girl's house, of course, drinking. Like that's just what it was. And we have never been out there before. So imagine trying to get directions to there while being sober. And then imagine trying to drive home drunk. Once again, by the grace of God, even though my friend would come in and out after I told him, like, man, bro, I don't really know where I'm at, man. Like I'm pretty much lost right now. And I've always been bad with directions, so, sober or not, like I've always been bad with directions. But anyway, so he would, come in and out of his drunkenness just to tell me, because, he still had like a good mind. I would consider him, another person that was, pretty functional, when it came down to it. But just that day, we just, like I said, sometimes you just let loose. Anyway, so he would look around. I remember him just like looking around. He's like, just guiding me still while still going in and out. And he was able to direct us home. I'm still the driver, but he was directing us home. I remember that. So I remember us making it home. We actually got there. I didn't park so well. I kind of hit the bumper against like the, garages, how they have the brick first, then garage. Yeah, I pretty much put his bumper against the brick. I'm not saying I smashed it, but, I felt like a little, little nudge, So anyways, that was just another grace by God getting us home, because that was not me. Like I said, I felt like I was so arrogant all those times, telling myself, like, yeah, I got me home, or I got us home. But anyways, like, just the point of this story that I'm trying to make is, alcohol was another thing that I felt like consumed my life, because it made me short. And I mean short, like in conversation. Like, I'm not trying to talk about nothing right now. Times where I feel like I was relaxing, like, if anything, it sent me into like a depressant. Times where I felt like I was just supercharged off of it, listening to my music. And, it was very secular to begin with. That's another thing. So I'm intoxicated with secular music, which is a boost of falseness. Because no matter what I was listening to, I'm not that guy. I was not that guy. But it made me in my mind feel like I can go out and do these things, but that's not me. That's not me. It was all false. So that is one thing that I can say where I'm at now, fast forward, because I can go on and on about these stories, man, with alcohol and like what it's done, but hopefully you get the point of what I'm trying to make. This was another thing that I wanted God to deliver me from. Like, I prayed to God to deliver me from so many other things. So this being one of them, which that's what I'm gonna title it, but being delivered from alcohol and not having that desire to want it feels so much better than me trying to quit on my own. Because there has been times where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go without it. And then for whatever reason, when you stop doing something, it seems like whatever demon is attached to alcohol, you know what I mean, kind of calls you or lures you back in, and there you go. You're right back in it again. But no, this time I can honestly say, after praying to God to deliver me from alcohol, from this sin, the powers that have worked through him, that I feel through me, have truly delivered me from it. And I can say that wholeheartedly. Like, I don't even want alcohol. It's not about what I know it can do to me anymore. It's like I don't even care for it. The sober mind is the best mind. So that was one of the first things that I felt like God helped me overcome. It helps me see clearer. And all those times where I felt like, you know what, something could have happened, but didn't. So I thank God for that. Any advice to anybody that has not yet chose to seek God, I had to tell myself this before I even started going down this journey. Because just like many that's out there, you see, like, what is the purpose? Like, it's a cycle. Like, why? And you kind of want to know your purpose. But in order to know your purpose, you have to seek God. Stop trying to do everything on your own. Because that's what I was guilty of. I'm just trying to do everything on my own. I'm trying to control my life. I don't want to control my life anymore. I've given my life to God. I got new urges. Listen to me. I have new urges. Once you become delivered, you get this new urge, this sensation, and I've been feeling this. Like I want to know more. I really want to get to know God more. Jesus Christ died for me. I want to know more. So him delivering me from this sin here, and along with many others that I will share with you guys, just opened up a whole new door for me. Yeah. I have urges to want to be baptized. I have urges to just want to wake up and just pray for just breath in my lungs. To really start appreciating, to seek God, to know what my true purpose is. That's the truth, people. That is the truth. These testimonies that you look up, that you see, and you wonder why God is being mocked, or you wonder why people call Christians crazy and whoop-de-whoop. It's like, it has started to make so much sense now. Wake up. Seek God. You don't want to continue just to live this life and do exactly what a lot of us are having testimonies about. We're not just saying it for nothing. It's spiritual. And just with that message right there, yeah. Y'all have a blessed day.